So I'm Patrick, co-founder and CEO of Span Health. I'm French, born and raised, and living in the UK at the moment. So Span is a company that we created really to help people answer the question, what should I do for my health this week and why? And the why is really the idea of helping you figuring out from your health data, biometrics you're getting from your wearables, any devices, essentially what's good for you and what's making you progress in the right direction. And so having a very personalized approach. And the way we do that is through data-driven coaching. So that means a health coach or a nutritionist or a doctor. And right now we're actually starting with a premium pricing subscription that includes the entire team. And it tends to be some sort of like longevity fitness product. So it's for people who generally want to improve their health span. They don't have medical conditions, but they want to feel great. And they want to make sure that they stay and maintain that quality of life for as long as we started the company about 2 years ago, almost now. We've learned a tremendous amount on the healthcare system, payers, and things like that. And so in terms of the community and what Span has created around just us three in the team is a community of 6,000 people, mainly starting with people who have not medical conditions, but living maybe something like pre-diabetes, that's kind of in between, that they want to address before it turns into diabetes and actually preventing that. Or same thing goes with PCOS and other conditions. And so today, in terms of paid users and people who are more using the longevity fitness product, which is our core focus now, we have 50 paid users, and we're growing that pretty quickly. I just have like very segmented days, and I know exactly what portion of the day is allocated to something. And there's not much variability in the week. So I tend to do email prioritization and scheduling emails in the morning. So I don't actually reply to all emails. So I do all the urgent emails before 10. I schedule all the other emails to be done during the week or to be labeled or sent to someone else. Next thing will usually be some review of marketing. And so looking at ads, number of people who visit the website, some of the new people who signed up, and where they are in their journey. Are they signed up for the app? As they paid for a subscription plan? And then that's being interrupted these days because of the way we sign up people. So they all have to book a call with me in order for me to learn as much as possible about how we define their journey. And so, yeah, I'm going to have all of these calls after 10 a.m. and for the entire day. Product next. And it's usually a mix of looking at some of the issues that people have and new features or like small improvements we want to make. In the next few months, there might be less of product development and more of branding. On Mondays and Fridays, we have this team meeting. And so we chat for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours most of the time. And the goal is really to just realign, decide what we've learned on the Monday. The goal is really to kick off the week and to understand, what we discussed on previous Friday, and let's figure out if we have all the tools we need to actually get started this week. And so sometimes it's also who's going to do what. Although again, I think we've just recently learned to be more focused and have a good split of, I'm going to be the hunter marketing on the outside and deal with people who come into the website and sign up and do this call. Rachel's going to focus on the people internally. Adam is going to focus on the content and the clinical side. So using just like a shared collaboration tool. So we started with Notion, which we found being like really simple to use, and where we can all share notes and structure the information that we gather on our own work day, and then we can share that with the team and make sure that everyone has access to it, and understands also what it's being used for. So we started with a basic task goal, and so on Notion you can do that very simply. We had tasks every Monday set on the schedule, and it would be any idea you have during the week, you put it on next Monday. On the meeting on Monday, we spent time going through all the tasks and deciding which ones we're actually going to do this week. All the ones that we're not going to do, if any of them actually are not the focus anymore, we just remove them. if they are, but we're not going to do them this week. We moved it to next Monday, and then we look at what's left for this week and we schedule it during the week. So scheduling means just basically setting an end date, so we kind of know we're gonna try and learn about this aspect of this super niche target segment, and we time box it to affiliate. But to be entirely fair, I think at this stage when you have 3 to 4 people in the team, that's maybe more of a hassle than anything. So we ended up actually stopping the tax management and the meeting on Monday and Friday just to do that. We just discuss what we've learned and the things that we want to focus on during that week. Splitting into tasks too early makes it very easy to just dump a lot of ideas and not make sure that they all have the same focus, as opposed to just discussing something and then deciding that's the focus for the week. We're all going to do that, and we're all going to do one thing, and therefore the focus is extremely clear, and it also becomes easier to validate whether some of the things we're trying are actually working. And I think I discovered that problem in some ways, that if you try too many things at the same time and you don't have a way to say this is the only variable we're touching this week, whether it's organizational stuff or the product or marketing, it becomes really hard to figure out what works and what doesn't. I've been reading a lot about organizations that do memos, and I think because we're fully remote now because of COVID, there's a lot of time that I spend at night on the weekends going for work and thinking about the company, how we're going to make decisions for the product, what's the new data that we have, and how that data is going to potentially change something or not change something, or just reinforce something that we already know. And what does that mean in terms of what we're actually doing this week, the next month, and maybe even the next 6 months. And so I ended up starting to write, and the goal is really to document our decision-making process. And it also includes the discussions we have with the team on Monday and Fridays. I think we always can go back to this and see why we made that decision. And maybe that's because we need to learn that that was the wrong decision. Maybe it was the right decision, and we need to see how did we approach this and how can we approach this different problem now. The other aspect is, and I'm just starting this, but we're looking at bringing maybe another co-founder or like the key team members on growth and things where we lack staff and skills to build a solid team. And it's really useful to be able to take one of these memos, or like 2 or 3 that really make sense and reflect where we are now, and to send that to them. And after first call of 30 minutes, just send that to them and see what they think, if that makes them even more interested. And obviously it's written from a very authentic perspective of where we are now, so it's extremely transparent. And giving that to someone who might join the company, I think, gives you a good overview of whether they're truly interested in. They're able to capture some of the small details and think, oh yeah, I have this insight from this previous job, or from this way of doing things, or this idea of how you can validate that further. And so, yeah, I think it's really useful from a hiring perspective, or will be useful from that point. As soon as we came to an understanding, or we made progress on a specific topic or issue, basically I start writing. And so it will be written from my perspective, but it will be including some of these conversations and kind of documenting the entire understanding of the team, which I think is also the difficult thing. Is you might start with a very shared mission, vision of where you want to go, but on the way, because we're all doing, especially being remote, we're all doing different things on a daily basis. We might learn different things. And so I think it's a way to just, on a regular basis, combine our knowledge and what we've learned, and then decide what the next step is. And yeah, it's just a way to, I guess, formalize the process. And so if you head to the website, www.span.health, you can sign up on the website, obviously learn more about us, social media. Pretty active on Twitter, but Instagram works as well. I think Instagram is more for the company, so if you want to check out the Instagram feed from Span Health, head over there. And if you want to message me, feel free to use Twitter or LinkedIn.